Oh, sir.
You all right over there?
Me? Yeah, I just woke up.
Yeah.
Hear your TV pretty loud, Pete.
How do you hear these things?
You have a good microphone that picks them all up.
Yeah.
Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. It's really kind of confusing to me. I'll be sitting here like, can't hear you, huh? But you hear everything in the back. I don't understand. I think I just had to get a new one. I think it's something at the plug going on too.
Yeah, I always have to look at the stupid thing on Discord to find out if the mic is picking up noise in the background or not. If the little ring lights up, yeah, it's picking it up.
Well, this is a cheap headset, so I'm not expecting it to last forever.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this is relatively inexpensive. It's I think the name brand, it's the Plantronics, which you find they make a lot of headsets and things like that for call center work and whatnot. Yeah. So, I mean, they have to last a long time, and the microphone is surprisingly clear.
Plantronics and Logitech are the ones I used to use for work.
I used to buy those freaking like $20 Plantronics from Walmart for like, I don't know, 12 years straight.
Yeah, I mean,
like playing World of Warcraft and stuff. That's all I ever used.
Yeah, and it just lasts. I mean, you're not throwing it around and twisting it and stuff like that. But it lasts pretty well.
It was medium of the road as far as quality. It wasn't that great, but I love these Corsairs. That's what I use. I use these Corsair.
I don't even know what brand mine are. Hold on a second.
Well, I'm going to go grab something to drink.
You can get yourself one of these Corsairs. It's worth it.
Onikuma. I have a set of Onikuma. If I plug in the USB port, it lights up.
Get yourself a Corsair. Get the wireless one, the Bluetooth. You won't regret it, man. It's like really good sound quality for your speakers, and the microphones are, well, as you know, I have a pretty decent mic, so.
Yeah, I might have to get a Bluetooth set because what keeps happening is I'll move my foot and get caught in the wire. So it's
the nice thing about this Corsair is when you lift the mic up, it shuts the mic off, and then when you push the mic down, it turns it back on. So you don't even have to do push to talk. You can just leave it on voice activated like this, and it hardly ever picks up anything unless you've got it set to your voice. So definitely a pretty good product for about $100.
Yeah, I gotta have the $100 though. The reason I bought a $30 set of headphones. We get our Dunkin' Donuts now. Get a large.
Everybody's week.
It was a week.
Must have very, very busy week for me.
You sound tired.
Yeah. Had like 2 back-to-back double shifts at work that freaking killed my energy.
Yeah, I don't miss that.
Followed by a morning shift yesterday. So when I got home, I slept for 11 hours and was still tired.
Well, that's because you slept for 11 hours.
Eh.
It's like your body says, this is what I need, and then you wake up, it's like, why will I feel like crap? Because you did me for 11 hours. Nah, that can't be it.
I set alarms so I would wake up at like 8 or 9 hours, but I slept through them.
My alarm, I've got the music tone set, but I've also got my vibrate that do this. So it sounds like a siren when it vibrates. So it's really friggin' annoying. I can't sleep through that.
I got a nice like Oriental flute number that it plays. Wakes me up pretty good. It's not too annoying. It doesn't make me like pissy when I wake up, you know?
Well, the song that I have set is from an old anime that had really great music on it. And it's like the theme song to the intro song to the anime. It's just one of those ones that really wakes you up, you know?
Yeah. Hello, viewers. Welcome. Gonna get the music turned down while we're waiting for everyone. Hey, Doors of Fear. Good to see you on a Sunday.
No, Doors of Fear is joining us. Nice.
Yeah. Chris, you've been awful quiet over there. How's everything going?
Fine.
Maybe I should give you my coffee.
Yeah, coffee makes me sleepy.
Well, that is why I have the coffee. So I can focus.
You just need some of that white powder, man. Sugar.
No.
Sugar. Like
I'm
literally.
ADHD, man. I've got that nice chemical imbalance where the stuff that should make me hyper knocks me the heck out.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
I can't take sleeping medication. I can't drink coffee.
Wait,
medication
you can't take sleep.
Up.
Okay, I don't have that. That's different.
Yeah, when I was first being tested for like ADHD and everything, they gave me sleeping medication, and the medication they gave me made me not be able to sleep for like 48 hours.
Wow.
Okay, then.
Well, I have to take sleeping medicine to get to sleep, so I am glad I don't have that one.
All right. Well, welcome, everybody. Welcome back after a week off to session 101 of our Sunday game that we like to call the Walker of Waterdeep. I am DM Galibar. I am joined by most of the players. We still have perhaps a little sleepyhead who's trying to get waked up and ready to go on a lazy Sunday afternoon. Hope that everyone had a good Independence Day for all those of you who are in the U.S. and hope that on doing a count of all of the fingers and toes, they are all still intact after the celebrations of the holiday weekend. We are back at it to begin our second 100 sessions of this game. And everybody, all the players have rolled up level 1. No, okay, we haven't done that. No. The last time we met these heroes, they were at a little country bed and breakfast in a suburb, if you will, of Waterdeep called Undercliff. And they were dealing with a ghost problem in the basement. And after dealing with the ghost problem in the basement, or before they dealt with that, and immediately thereafter, they realized that they were being joined at the inn by someone who has a reputation in Waterdeep. And that someone is none other than Priest of Tymora and CEO of Acquisitions Incorporated, Mr. Omin Dran, who seemed rather impressed with the ease with which they handled the ghost problem, and indicated that he thought their reputation was well earned, the reputation that they had gained during their travels. So I am not sure if Laura and Adamant had come back up from the basement yet or not. Galibar was off visiting, or had returned back to his mother's house. And let's check in with Galibar before we talk with our folks that were at the B&B, because we spent a long time with them at the end of the last session. So we'll give a little bit of screen time to Galibar. So, Galibar, you are at your mother's, and your mom has some questions for you over dinner. You mentioned to her, and she agreed to host your friends for dinner in 3 nights. So the night after the big masquerade ball. And so she has some questions. And she says, Galibar, dear, can you tell me a little bit about your friends and about what they like to eat? I mean, what should I have on the menu for them? First of all, I think you've mentioned their names before, but I want to make sure that I have them spelled correctly for the little guest favors that I will give them before they leave. Tell me what you can about them.
Well, Oyahusa is I believe a wood elf. Sometimes it's hard to tell. But he really likes tea.
Oh.
That is mostly all I know about him, actually.
Tea connoisseur. Does he like the herbal tea or the breakfast tea or the green teas? Does he like spicy tea? Does he like the mild teas?
Yes. Sorry, out of character.
I believe all of the above.
Oh, well, Okay, this gives me a this gives me an idea. Now, son, you drink tea yourself sometimes, don't you?
Well, mostly it's other things. I drink tea when it is all that is available. Uh, I much prefer alcohol or just plain water.
Well, um, what do you think your party would say if I planned a menu where there was a different tea with each course of the meal? From the sort of the hors d'oeuvres and appetizers when they arrive to the first course with the soup, and then a different tea with the salad, and then a different tea with the main course, and then a different tea uh, with the uh, pre-dessert, and then a different tea with the dessert, and then a different tea after the dessert. Um, do you think they would? Do you think they would like a theme like that with the dinner?
I'm sure Oyahusa might. I haven't gathered whether or not the rest are as enthusiastic about tea as he is, but I have seen them drinking tea. So,
Oh,
uh,
excellent.
one of the people in my party, Adamant is his name. He's a warforged. He does not consume food or drink. However, I have seen him. I'm not sure if he drinks it, but he has received some kind of oil in the past. I'm not sure which kind that was. Um, but I'm not sure if he would be bothered at all if he did not receive it. He seems to have some on him whenever he needs it. Um,
Do you know where he perchance gets this oil? Is he part of some order or some organization? Or
I believe he is part of the Temple of Moradin,
oh,
so they might be the people to ask about it.
yes, I will send one of the servants out to the Temple of Moradin first thing in the morning to find out. I'm sure that they will know. And if not them, I'm sure somebody at the Temple of Gond would know what would be good for a Warforged. Um, wonderful, wonderful. Okay, so that's Oyahusa, and that's Adamant, the Warforged. Are all of your adventuring companions boys? I thought there was a girl that went with you when you all went to Ravnica. Quite attractive. That girl that was the champion at the gladiator arena after you or before you became the champion, right?
Yes,
What was her
Xandri.
name? Xandri.
Yes,
Yeah.
Xandri. She is no longer part of our group, or at least is on hiatus. She went to, well, let's just say, her god called to her to go do other things. So she is off fixing a problem in another plane, I believe, at the moment. However, we have had a couple more additions to the party.
Oh.
A Originally another drow girl named Elora. Um,
I'm
she
sensing a type.
no. Um, but she is actually very different from it. From Elora. Not no. Sorry, Xandri. Um, she she's a druid. Um,
A druid. Ooh.
and we have Enka, a female minotaur in our party who is a bard.
A minotaur. A druid, a minotaur, and a wood elf. So now, would you think it would be good to have a more of a vegetarian meal? Or do your companions, are they carnivores? Omnivores?
Character, have we like went over if they're vegetarian or not? Because I honestly
You've seen Allura. Not Allura. You've seen Inca eat meat.
What about Allura?
Allura.
What?
Is Allura a vegetarian or does she eat meat?
He eats meat?
Okay. Galibar says, from what I have seen, none of my party is particularly vegetarian, but having possibly just like a large helpful vegetables might help. I've seen all of them eat meat. I'm not sure about any particular tastes in what kind of food they enjoy, as most of our meals are simply rations. But I do know that Elora seems to like sweets from our meal that we had at the Lady Silverhand's home.
Ah, okay. Well, son, you bring me you have helped me so much with my menu planning. I will have some of your favorite vegetables. We will serve a roast and a nice fowl. We'll have some potatoes, and we will have a nice salad and some good helpings of cooked and raw vegetables to go along with the meal. And then I will make some of your favorite pastries from when you were a child. Perhaps your friend Elora will. That's the name of the drow.
Yes.
Oh, perhaps she will like that. It's my hope. Mother can only hope. So I will be very excited to meet all of your friends, and I promise that I will not embarrass you. I will set a table that they will all be happy to have eaten at.
Okay. By the way, ahead of time, I have sensed some things in the party happening. Maybe have Elora and Oyahusa sit next to each other.
Oh, okay. I will do that. Now that's good to know. Well, your friends will be welcome here, and we will enjoy seeing them at the house. And then she'll ask you a little bit about your day and go through some things, and then before she retires, she'll call several of the servants, and they will start. They'll be starting to plan shopping lists and menu preparation items and things like that. So whenever you finally take your leave and go up to bed, you'll leave your mom there talking to them.
Okay.
All right. Okay. So then we will. Was there anything else you wanted to talk with her about before we go back to the B&B?
Well, not really.
Okay.
I might ask her if she was going to go to the ball or not.
Oh yes, of course. Of course, I plan to go to the ball. Maybe your Warforged friend will dance with me. That would be interesting. I've never danced with a Warforged before.
I'm not sure he is too enthusiastic about going in the first place, let alone if he knows how to dance.
Oh well, I can follow. I can lead. If he can walk, I can get him dancing, where he won't be tripping over himself.
I will let him know.
Wonderful. It It will be splendid. Now, have you, speaking of this ball, have you put much thought into what you are going to wear?
Well, I have my new robes, so to say, from that I got from become a paladin of Bahamut. But at the same time, I can make myself appear to be wearing anything I want at any given time. Um, so it is not too much, but I do have a mask being made at the moment.
Oh, I'm so happy that you're getting into the spirit of the masquerade. I know that you have enjoyed a lot of fame and celebrity with your own countenance. But masquerade balls are always so much fun because they allow you to take on the persona of anything that you wish. And it can sometimes be fun to guess who is under each of the masks. And you say that the Temple of Bahamut has already acceded to your request to become a paladin. That's very fast. Usually it takes months.
Well, as it were, most of what I've already been doing has already fit what they would have had me been doing in the first place.
Oh, I see. So they have seen that perhaps you have been identified as and being groomed for paladinhood by Bahamut himself.
Yes.
Ah, yes. Well, that is something that sometimes happens. Of course, usually it's full-blooded dragonborn that happens to. But wonderful, wonderful. Well, certainly, I would be proud of you whether you had been already accepted as a paladin or not yet, because I know in my heart that you have done so many wonderful things, not only for Waterdeep and on my behalf, my dear boy, but for your friends and for people who will never even know who you are. And that to me is always the mark of a true hero, someone that will risk their own life for people who will never even know who they were or what they did.
Yes.
Well, splendid.
I believe part of us being invited to this masquerade ball is to show people that we are who we are and what we did. But yes, there is a lot of people that in those other planes that probably will never see me again. So yes. There is one of them that I'm certainly never going back to.
And she says, well, that is something I wish there were a few more days before the ball, because I would have liked to talk to all of your party about this. But I'll have to trust you to take the message to them before the night of the ball. You mentioned that you think one of the reasons you're being invited to the ball is so that people will know who you are. I suffice it to say, from the little that I know of Waterdeep society, from the friends that I have, all of you, at least yourself and your friend Adamant and your friend Oyahusa, are known by name, if not many details. And of course, many stories about you have been wildly exaggerated. But there will be a lot of people who, at this masquerade ball, who think extremely highly of themselves and believe that anyone who wants to be anything in Waterdeep will want to be associated with them. So please do not be surprised on the night of the ball when you are waylaid by nobility, merchant impresarios, people who are heads of some of the important guilds here in the city of Waterdeep, and those others who will want to try to make sure that you are more or less publicly associated with them. They believe that it will greatly influence them and benefit them to be associated with you, while they try to convince you that you are the ones that will benefit from being associated with them. Just be careful of that. That is probably the biggest downside about living in Waterdeep, is that as soon as you gain a reputation, everyone wants to be your friend for as much as it will benefit them.
You have no need to worry. I know exactly how valuable I would be as a ally or representative. I have been a ambassador for like the last few months, and I know how powerful I am. And I'm a half dragon now. I know people will want to become friends, so to speak. Maybe I can get some free stuff out of it.
I would counsel you to be cautious with that, because there will now be new scrutiny on you, since you will be publicly identified as a paladin of Bahamut. They know that those paladins hold themselves and are held to an extremely high degree of integrity by everyone who sees them. If it appears that you are attempting to use your celebrity or your position to gain things, that will cause, at the very least, gossip, which may not be good for the order, and it may get you some stern talking to when you are back here. Just be careful of that.
I have avoided in the past becoming the center of attention, but part of being a paladin of Bahamut is, from what I have been told by them, receiving gifts or treasure and putting great worth on it. So think of it as if I am given gifts or something because of my rank, or because they think that it will get them in higher standing of me. Think of it as possibly getting a dragon horde, so to speak. But I do not plan on, using my title to get anything. Gaining this title was more of, it started with wanting to get back at the people, or to prove wrong the people who thought ill of me in the past, particularly in that Torta. But now it is simply because I believe my powers are given to me by Bahamut, so I wish to make sure I am on his side, so to speak. It wasn't to gain popularity.
Yes, I am not sure how anyone could be more popular than the champion of the arena. Certainly, the champion of the arena has a far higher approval rating than the Open Lord of Waterdeep, no matter who that Open Lord happens to be. And I suspect that the reason the masked lords are often masked has less to do with wishing to be anonymous and more to do with being able to avoid the blame when people think that something is wrong in the government. So it is you have a high reputation. I think that there will be a lot of people that will try to tempt you in order to think they are tarnishing the reputation of the order of Bahamut. That would be my only caution.
I believe if anybody tries to get one over on me, so to speak, a couple of my party members would probably be quick to stop that or to correct me if I ever do, for some reason, fall for it. So I'm not sure how much worrying is needed.
Well, it's good to know that you have friends that look out for you, just as I know they are so grateful when battle becomes inevitable to have you there with your majestic weapon and your strong arms and your potent breath weapon. Very well.
I guess.
Go ahead if you were going to say anything.
No, I was just going to say, like, we cast yada yada and to move on to the rest of the party.
Okay, all right. So, going back to the bed and breakfast. So Inca, after Omin has kind of gone down the stairs and told Adamant and Alora and Oyusa he's very impressed with their work, he sort of comes back and sits back down here and seems to be waiting for them, and he looks over to you and gives you another little smile.
She at least returns it at this point in time because, well, he was nice enough to let them do their thing without trying to barge in and, be head of the show type thing. So she smiles back, and then now that they've obviously got everything kind of taken care of downstairs, she kind of motions to the innkeeper and is like, would you be able to provide us with some small finger foods or something to tide us over until a larger meal?
Oh, certainly. I'll bring some finger foods, and would you and your other friends like to join Mr. Omin and Mr. Oyahusa in cups of tea?
Yes, that would be
wonderful.
Fantastic. If you could possibly refresh the water with some hot, And she kind of like stumbles a little bit and then kind of says, it's greatly appreciated very much for all your efforts.
Oh, wonderful. And she, goes back and busies herself over in the kitchen.
Then she kind of motions for Omin to join her and says, would you care to partake in a light repast?
Well, that's very kind of you, Inca. Yes, I would enjoy that. So, and he seems to be distracted, looking above your eye line, like
My
he's
horns.
yeah, at the horns, and he says, those caps on your horns are exquisite.
They're not caps. There's, excuse me, they're replacements for what was lost during a battle.
Oh, he looks a little like he's kind of fumbling for what to say. You know, kind of like that time you realize you've just mentioned something that might be mildly uncomfortable for somebody else.
She doesn't look uncomfortable. She's just like, it was due to my own folly, and thankfully Adamant was able to make me replacements that actually in the wind actually make a beautiful sound. So
they're functional, and as well as being exquisitely crafted. Yes.
They does all the Adamant's work. That was his design.
Oh, well, certainly he took inspiration from you, because they match so well with your figure and your the way you present yourself.
He kind of flushes a little bit. Well, thank you. I greatly appreciate what he had done. So
time Laura comes upstairs and says, "No flirting with my friend." Damn it, bitch.
Well, now.
And as you come up the stairs, Laura, Omin will stand up, and to his credit, he seems to understand. He doesn't like pretend to know the ins and outs. He seems to understand the esteem with which women are held in the Drow society, and he sort of accords you that respect that that as a Drow you might expect from someone who is a foreign visitor. So he just sort of gives you a little nod, but he stands as you come up the stairs, and he smiles briefly at you, and then he sort of waits for you to go and figure out where you're going to sit down, and then he reseats himself at his chair once you do.
Once Laura's coming up the stairs and sees him, she's gonna shoot him like this death glare of what he was saying to Inca earlier, and how Inca was talking to him and the songs and things like that. So she's on edge about him, and she'll look at him, Inca, and say, like, what is he doing? As he kind of like gets up to like greet her, and she's like, no.
He's kind of like, he looks at it, she looks at Alora, like, kind of makes a little shake of her head and goes, it's all right. He's being a gentleman. There are places where It is common for gentlemen to stand upon a lady entering a room.
Really?
Yes.
And she'll like start counting on her fingers and says, "There's been so many missed opportunities." She'll kind of like keep on counting. It's larger than 10.
And
yes.
And Omin says, yes, Mistress Elora, is it?
She'll kind of look and she'll kind of go silent, but then she'll give a little nod to her head.
And he says, sadly, I think you will find that common courtesies are one of the things lacking here in Waterdeep these days. When I was being raised, I know that my mother Propha would beat me with the flat side of her broadsword if I didn't treat ladies with respect. I don't think that happens to enough children these days in Waterdeep.
Galibar has been training me with a whip. I would have just whipped you instead. She kind of realized what she said, and she looked at Inga and says, "I'm going back downstairs."
Well, before she goes, Adamant and Oyo, are you guys gonna head back upstairs, or?
Yes, Adamant's coming back up the stairs.
Okay.
He comes upstairs and says, "The ghosts have been handled."
Scooch, out of the way. I embarrassed myself. Go. Leave. Off the stairs.
And as Elora gets up, Omin kind of hastily stands, but it's like a couple of beats too late, later than he should, and he kind of gives like this confused look at Inca and a confused look at Adamant, and he's just sort of not quite sure what's going on.
Just kind of shrugs.
All right. And Oyo, are you staying down in the basement, or are you coming back up?
Does Elora go down the stairs as Adamant gets to the top?
Yeah, it looks like Adamant's figure is still in the basement. But I guess he's coming up the stairs.
Yes.
Okay.
I am moving it now.
Oh, okay. All right. So yeah, as Adamant plods up the stairs and tells people that the ghost problem is handled, and you hear a little gasp of thanks from the innkeeper, Elora comes clattering down the stairs, running a little bit faster than she needs to, and sort of with that look on her face that she's kind of a little bit embarrassed about something that she's done or said.
Can I insight check her?
Probably only necessary if Elora is trying to hide it.
Oh.
Yeah. So yeah, not even necessary, because you guys have all adventured together. Mm-hmm. That I'm going to say that if you're not hiding your emotions, then you can read each other pretty well by now.
Oh, who said just like looks her straight in the eyes and gives her like that awkward, strong eye contact to just make her feel a little bit more insecure, and he like walks past her.
as he does that, she'll just give him like this big, huge death glare. But then she'll start kind of laughing.
And Oyo grins a little bit when he gets to the top of the stairs. And he walks over and he sits down at the table. Well, what did I miss?
And Omin says, is your friend okay? And he sort of looks over at the stairs where Laura went, and then he looks back at Inca with a question on his face.
She sometimes gets just a little flustered. It's all right. She'll get herself straightened out in her own thoughts, and she sometimes, when she gets a little flustered or says something that she's not quite sure about, she'll go away for a while and then come back.
Okay. Well, I could only imagine if the rules were reversed, and if I found myself in the Underdark for any period of time, as the only person from the surface, I would probably feel like I was out of place most of the time as well. She's the reputation that you all have is remarkable. From what I hear, you've been out solving problems in more than one plane of existence, not just Ravnica, not just here, but multiple other places.
It's what we do.
That's what you do. Tell me, if I may ask, how do you find yourselves set up in terms of support and resources when you are on other planes?
We make do.
You make do. But does that mean to say that if perhaps you had more logistical or financial support of some kind, that would be something that perhaps would interest you?
Enemy kind of tilts his head a little bit. We have quite a bit of support. Not sure what else we could ask for.
Yes, well, I know because it's common knowledge from the minutes of the meetings of the Masked Lords. I do my best to keep abreast of what's happening in city politics. It's common knowledge that both Lady Silverhand and the Blackstaff have put considerable resources towards supporting you all from a distance. And the increased diplomatic presence here in Waterdeep from Ravnica that coincided with your appointment as ambassadors to Ravnica from Waterdeep, that leads me to believe you probably get at least some support from Ravnica. But if the stories I hear are true, you're pretty much sent on your own without any easy means of getting finances or additional material support while you are away from either Waterdeep or Ravnica. Now, this is just the stories that I hear, but I'm wondering, is there any truth to that?
Well,
can I insight this guy?
You sure can insight.
What the hell is he beating around the bush about?
Right.
You sure can insight him.
Not the greatest. All right. Nothing like rolling a 5.
I am going to roll one as well.
Okay.
And while they're doing
I
this,
too rolled a 5.
Oh boy.
Inca,
Mm-hmm.
are you interested in trying to incite this guy?
I can try. She's just kind of been there staring off into space, honestly, but she kind of...
Oh, okay. Well, if that...
I mean, it's one of those things she's been following, but she's just kind of been a little off in her own la la land thinking about the upcoming masquerade, but...
Well, you don't have to. I just was
just out of curiosity. She's got him all figured out. She's just like...
As you're, you have one ear on the conversation and your mind halfway on the logistics of getting ready for the ball, and there's some odd parallels that you're seeing, and you realize he is laying the groundwork for something, and you pretty much figure out what it is before he even says it. And what he says is, he says, well, I have to tell you that I had hoped that while you were in the city, our paths would cross. Because I really think there's an opportunity that we could help each other out. Now, you may know me as a simple cleric of Tymora, but I'm also a businessman. And up until now, my business has been limited to the Sword Coast, and which is a small region of Faerun. But there's some developments that we have come up with within our company, where we can not only send messages, but we can send actual physical material items as easily as you can do a sending. And I was wondering, how would Ravnican chapter of Acquisitions Incorporated sound to you all?
I believe that perhaps you should take a diplomatic route with this and speak to that Lady Silverhand.
Well,
I mean, if I may, I believe that there should be nothing stopping you from